You have 255, it means full on red, full on green, and full on blue. We have the width of the Viking and the height of the Viking, then the image of our Viking, and our screen where we're drawing our Viking. I think I'll use, instead of image, I'll just use img. Colon and return. Now I'm just going to drag this over so you can see the actual. The indent, everything after this belongs to the initializer or the constructor. The self, a specific instance of the Viking, its x value is going to be the x value that's passed to it through our constructor. I'm going to copy and paste that, and the y value is the y value. I'm going to go up and copy and paste all those. The velocity x is the velocity x, the velocity y is the velocity y, the width is the width, and the height is the height. Our image is the image. The screen is the screen. That's it for the initializer, for the constructor. Then we have to define a couple of things inside our class. So notice this is indented to the same level as this def up here. Def move self. And we are going to move our Viking around the screen. The x value, self.x, is equal to, well, what it was before, self.x. I'm going to move it by whatever its speed is. Self.vx. And I'm going to do the same thing with the y. Copy this, change that to vy, change that to y, and change that to y. Let's leave it like that for now. We're going to have to do some things, otherwise it's just going to run off the screen. I'm going to make another definition, another function. I'm going to call that one draw. And we're just going to draw our Viking. Self.screen. So we're taking our screen, and we're going to do this thing called the blit again, which is, drawing an image. Self.image. And where are we drawing that image? We're drawing it at our x and y position. So self.x, comma, self.y. And that's it for our Viking. This is Viking.py. I'm going to go back into our main. In our main, that we are going to import Viking, make a Viking object. So I'm going to say my Viking is equal to Viking. It's the capital Viking, which is, see where it says Viking.pygame, capitalized. So we're getting it from that document, dot Viking. That's the name of our class. Everything from our constructor. Our x and our y. So let's say the x value is going to be 200 and the y value is going to be 200. We're going to start it moving. So the x is going to be 0.3. And the y value is going to be 0.1. And the width is 50 pixels, and the height is 70 pixels. The image that we're sending is the image. The screen is the screen. We've defined our Viking. We have a draw function. Let's make a move function here. Def move. In our move function, I'm just going to move our Viking. My Viking dot move. I'm going to draw the screen. I'm going to wait for a second. We're going to call this function here. Did I make a clock yet? No, I haven't. Let's make a variable called clock. Clock is equal to pygame.time.C clock, like that. After we draw, we are going to wait. Clock dot tick. And we're going to wait 61 thousandths of a second. I'm not sure exactly what this corresponds to. That's our call to our draw. We no longer have to, we're not going to draw this image. We are going to draw our Viking. My Viking dot draw. Down here, we have a call to the draw function. I'm going to change that to a call to the move function. That ought to do it. Let us run the project. I just stopped what was running. Now I'm going to, we should see our Viking moving across the screen unless there's errors, and there are errors. It's not Viking.pygame. It should just be import Viking. So it should just be import Viking. Let's see if that works. I had self-image instead of self-img in my Viking.py because I had changed it to img and I forgot. And I wrote it here. I wrote image. Let's run that. And there it is. There's our Viking, and he's moving across the screen. Okay, we've made an object. We've made something move. It's not the best animation, but it's our first animation. I wonder what's going to happen when he gets to the edge. What do you think is going to happen? And there he goes. We need to bounce him off the edge of the screen. In our Viking.py, in our class, in our movement, I'm going to put in an if. The x value, self x, is greater than, self.x is greater than the edge of the screen, which is going to be width. I'm going to want it to bounce its velocity, self.vx, to be the opposite of what it was. In math, the opposite is the negative. If it was -5 as a velocity, It's going to become positive 5. If